Well guys, I hope you're ready. We're using power tools today and some recycled bottle tops, but it's gonna be extreme. So here is what you're gonna need for this project. You're gonna need some large lids, some large plastic lids. We've got cottage cheese lids, we've got an OxyClean lid, and then these I actually got, these are lids for buckets, and I found these at Home Depot for like $1 something a piece. So I grabbed some of those. You're gonna need some tomato steaks. These guys right here. You're gonna need your drill. We're bringing out the heavy equipment today, guys. Not really. You're gonna need a drill and some drill bits. You're gonna need some zip ties. You're gonna need some smaller lids as well, like some soda bottle tops. And then you're gonna need some wire. I've got some copper wire here. And this is 16 gauge because I know people are going to be curious. And I'll put everything in the description down below so that you guys know all the materials that I'm using. You want to make sure you have an extra battery just in case this thing dies. You're going to need your wire cutters for your wire. And then I've got this good old wrench right here so that I can hold my plastic pieces in place while I drill it, so I don't risk drilling through my hands. And then I have a piece of wood here so that I can actually drill through this as opposed to drilling through my metal table. All right, so the first thing I'm going to attempt to do is break this. The reason for the surprise on my face is I did not do this before to practice to see how it went. So something could have exploded. I could have lost an eye. I'm wearing my glasses, I'd be safe. So now I have two parts. So you don't want, I mean, unless you just really want a super crazy tall flower, you're gonna wanna break these in half. And that way, and it doesn't have to be exact at all, because I mean flowers aren't all the same height, so it doesn't matter. All right, so I've broken those, which I'm really excited that it was that easy because I really didn't know. I was kind of scared. Okay, so you're gonna break those. Then the next thing that we're going to do is we're gonna design our flower petals, I guess you would say, because I mean it's not really, it doesn't really have petals, but we're going to design the head of our flower. And what we're going to do is we are going to put bottle caps, and you can decide how you want to design yours, but I'm going to have my bottle caps kind of in a row going around the perimeter of my flower base. So in order to get them to go around in a row, you could hot glue them if you wanted. I don't feel like hot glue is going to be very permanent. So I'm actually going to drill a hole in these and then fish the wire through them and then attach it to the lid. So I'll show you what this looks like. Okay. That was my SHIPT shopper. So my groceries are at my front door. I'll be right back. I've got to go put groceries away. But, which by the way, if you guys haven't tried SHIPT, you need to. It's amazing. They, especially during this pandemic, have been a lifesaver for me. But I mean, for example, I was setting up and getting ready to do this video while someone shopped for me. It's the best. It's awesome. Anyway, if you are interested in SHIPT, I'll put a link below. I have a little link that I can give you where you will get, I think you get $10 off and then I get a $10 credit. I don't remember how it works, but if you want to try it, use that link. It's awesome. Because I mean, who doesn't love free money? It's $10 off. And someone else shops for you. Anyway, you gotta try it. The first thing that we need to do is we need to get a drill bit. It's going to work. So some of our tops are gonna go onto this. So you just need to find a drill bit that's big enough to fit on there. It's gonna take a big one. A little bit further with this one. Okay. All right. So now let's try this hole. Perfect. Okay, so this slides on. So what we're going to be doing is stacking these up along this. So I'm going to keep on drilling these, and then we will move on to the next thing. All right, so now we need to change out this drill bit, and we need to use a much smaller one. And we'll be able to fly through these because this will go a lot better. This will go a lot faster. Okay, I got lazy. I was tired of bending over doing this. So I decided to sit down. And then when I sat, the ground is so mushy that my chair just went, ooh. Nothing like some mushy ground to give your self-esteem a big old boost. So these are moving really, really quickly. The little bitties. The big ones, you know, I definitely think you need something, either some sort of clamp, like C-clamp, or something like the wrench to hold it still, because that thing, the big one, it definitely moves on you. These little guys, not so much. But again, be careful. Try this at your own risk. Lawyer disclaimer, all that stuff. So I'm gonna finish drilling all of these, and then we're gonna start, I gotta quit dropping them. Then we're gonna start putting everything together. By the way, my husband says I have monkey toes because I can always pick things up really easily with my toes. But it comes in handy, you know? I'm tall. It's a long way down to the ground. Sometimes you just need to use your little gripper toes to pick things up. Does anybody else do that? Am I alone? Am I the only one with freakishly strong toe grips? Oh well. If you happen to be a fellow grippy toe person, you can comment below and let me know. I'm not alone in this world. I wanted to show you guys, the reason that I want to get the green garden stake is because if I decide to just leave this green, then it's fine because, you know, stems are green and all that jazz. But another thing that you can do, if you would like to spice it up a little bit, is you can actually use the lids and layer them like this to add a little bit more interest to your stems. Make them a little more whimsical. Come on out there, guy. There we go. And so they're just kind of fun. I mean, these are not obviously meant to represent real flowers. These are meant to be colorful and happy and give our little brains an escape from the reality that we've been dealing with. Oh, that one didn't. Ah, there we go. All right. It's kind of like a shish kebab. You're just gonna layer it up. And the more whimsical, the better. So grateful. My parents sent me some, aren't these fun? These are like shaving cream lids. But I like them. I feel like we always buy the same things because when I do this project, I have all the same types of lids, whereas my parents brought me some lids and all of their lids are so different and actually kind of weird. They're like, I like a good deal, but my parents are real cheap, so there's no telling some of the things that they bought. Okay, scooch my little lids up. There's plenty of room for this to get into the ground. Actually, I might take off some of these layers, save them for another one because I need to have room for this to be in the ground. Perfect. So here is one stem. And then what I'm gonna do with this one, I think I'm gonna use one of my smaller lids. And that's gonna be the top of the flower, and then I'll have the other lids going around that. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is, before we start adding any of our bottle tops to our lids, what we need to do is think about how you want your lid to go. So if this is my stem, do I want this to go vertical or do I want it to be horizontal? Which I think I want mine to go horizontal. You're going to turn on the back so that you can see where it's going to be, so that you know where you should drill your holes, because we're going to use little zip ties to hold it on here. So you just lay this down, and it doesn't have to be precise. I'm going to get another drill bit. Let's see. I want to make sure that I get one that's big enough. That should work. Because we're just going to eyeball this and then drill the little holes so that we can get our zip tie through there. Alright, zip tie there. And then I'm going to do one closer to the bottom. And another one on the other side. Oh, and you know what? I think this is going to be too far down because when I put my lids, yep, it's going to cover it up. So I need to remember that. I need to make sure it's a little bit more in the middle. So we're going to move those holes. But the good thing is those are going to be covered up, so you're not even going to see them. They'll be covered up by the bottle tops. So now we have two holes. It's probably kind of hard to see. Like my camera's not going to focus on it. There you go. So we've got two holes. This one's too low, so ignore those. So we've got two holes here and then two holes here. And these, we're going to fish our zip tie through. Like this. So you'll just see that little black line. That is going to be the front of our flower. And then we'll have another one here. And so now we need to attach, this is going to be the front of our flower, so now we need to attach our bottle tops to go on this. So now that we have this drilled and ready to go, I'm going to set aside our zip ties. And let's get going on the center of our flower. Okay, so I'm going to get my copper wire. And the way that I'm gonna do this is just very roughly pull this out so I can get an idea of how big around this is gonna need to be. It does not have to be a precise measurement, and it's honestly better to be a little too big than too small because we can always come back and cut off any excess wire. So you're going to kind of try to shape this to the shape of your lid. And again, just roughly, it does not have to be exact. Just make sure you've got enough. And now what I'm going to do is open this back up and I'm going to start to feed. I've hooked myself. There we go. I'm going to hook, I'm still thinking of hooks. I'm going to feed the lids through here. And you just need to decide if you want to have a certain pattern. Like if you want to do, you know, if you've got all greens, if you do all green, or if you want to alternate and do green and clear, or clear and red, or however you want to do it. You just need to figure that out. And we're just gonna load this up. And I think I'm gonna do mine just random. Because I think that sounds fun. So now I have my little ring of bottle caps. And what I'm gonna do is just place this kind of eyeball how it'll fit on here. And I'm gonna pull these as tight as I can. And I'm gonna twist this wire. Around itself. I'm going to leave a little bit of room. And squeeze this. There we go. All right, I'm going to leave a little bit of room because I'm going to drill through these two sides over here. Very close to each other. So I've got, let's see, I can't, which way am I going? All right, so I drilled two little holes up here, and then I'm gonna fish, see this extra wire that I have? Can you see that extra wire? I'm gonna fish these through these holes. Let me do it this way. And then I'm going to twist. And this is going to be the back of my flower, so you're not going to see any of this, okay? And then I can snip off any extra. All right. So now I need to do something similar down on this end. So I want to get an idea of where there's a little bit of a break right here between two lids. And I'm just going to stick this drill down between the two lids, just alongside that, between the two lids. I'm just going to drill down, lift up. I'll look again, because I want, you see that little hole right there? I want just right beside it. And now I'm going to take some extra wire and cut that. And then I'm going to bend this and I'm going to hook it through this wire. So just between, you're just going to go between two lids. And just make sure that you're over that wire because that's going to help keep this in place. And I'm going to line my wire up so that it goes through the holes. You see that? And pull that down. So then on the back side, my wire is going to be sticking up. And I'm just going to twist. So this is our funky little flower. And now we need to attach it to its stem. We're going to take our little crazy shish kebab stem, and that's going to go on the back of this. So let's get our zip ties. So with my zip tie, I'm going to push through on the back first because this little fat piece, needs to be on the back. And then I'm going to pull through and then back down. Ah! Let's try that again. Pull it up. I'm going to put my finger on the one in the back, that way it doesn't fall through. And then you're going to push it through the back like this, so that when you turn it over, this little piece is going to be in the back. So I'm going to do the same thing with that second one. And push it through, hold it, push it back through. There we go. And now this is going to be, you can decide which one's going to be the top, which is going to be the bottom. Honestly, I don't know that it really matters, but you can look at it. Okay. Yeah, I think I like it that way. All right. So while holding onto this, I'm just going to feed that little zip tie through. And pull that tight. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Push it through. And pull it tight. And then I'm just going to snip those off. And here's my funky little flower. Your funky little flower. Isn't it cute? So this is my first one. So I'm gonna make some more. And my goal, I think I want to have 3 to put in my yard. All right, so now I'm going to work on this big guy, and I've already made my giant bottle cap circle, and I'm going to put that in the middle of this. But because there's so much orange, I think I'm going to put maybe a blue lid in there, or yeah, I'm gonna do this blue and then layer it maybe with a little green. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking about. Sorry, I'm looking at the monitor right now because I'm trying to see my placement. Ooh, cannot work backwards. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Isn't that cute? So I'm gonna play around with this and then make a gigantic flower. Here is my other whimsical flower. So now I have 2. Like, I'm gonna do a third one because I like things in 3s, but then I'm going to find a place for these in my yard. There we go. So now I got this kooky little lid. All right, so here is my third flower. So I'm gonna go put these in the ground and I'll show you what they look like. Well, I hope you guys had fun making these recycled bottle cap flowers, and I hope they make your backyard a little bit brighter and cheery while it's still kind of dreary out. If you make these, be sure to share them on Instagram or Facebook and share and tag me, Craft Dreams with Molly, so that I can see them, because I would love to see your creations. I hope you guys had fun. I hope this brightens your day, and I hope you have a wonderful craft afternoon. Goodbye.